and he totally
Who
bombed.
is it?
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald.
And he did like anti-jokes.
What do you mean
and it was the
anti-jokes?
first time like he was just doing like childish juvenile jokes. Like he would do.
Isn't that Norm Macdonald anyway?
Yeah, but I didn't know that about it, so I was like, this guy sucks.
Go ahead and hit record. Are you hitting record?
Yeah.
I didn't know you hit record.
Yeah, we're recording.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. And then the more I saw, I watched it again like a year later, and I was like, I totally get it. This guy is a genius.
Really?
You've never heard Norm, dude?
I know of him. Like I've seen him before. I've seen him like live, like clubs and stuff, and I've never like sat down and put on one of his specials. And I've always meant to. It just never really like I never like when I was sitting down looking for specials, it's never popped in my head. But everyone's always been like, dude, his special was so good. So I'm always like, man, I gotta check it out. I keep forgetting.
One of his favorite jokes of mine is, there's two outcomes to competitive cliff diving. There's a winner and stuff on a rock.
You kind of sound like him right there, too. That was a nice Norm Macdonald
impression,
dude. That's funny. Is he like one of your favorites?
Easily.
Yeah?
Yeah. Top 5.
Who's your absolute
Easily
favorite?
top 5.
Who's your favorite, would you say?
It sounds really damn cliche to say, but Bill Hicks.
Okay.
Oh man, I don't think that's cliche to say.
It just seems like a lot of comics say Bill Hicks, so like.
Really?
Yeah, I feel
guess
like
so.
it.
Depends on like your style of comedy, I guess, because I haven't heard too many people say that, like comics. But I know a few that do. I think he's really an acquired taste.
Yeah.
You know.
Highly cerebral.
Some people might listen to it and go, "This isn't funny," to be honest with you. Like, but I literally have a CD in my car right now that I was listening to like a couple days ago, like
really?
like an old CD of his.
Oh, which one?
I don't remember the name of it. I remember the cover's black and white.
We should play
like
one of
close-up of
his
his face. I don't
bits
remember
at
the
the
name.
end of the show, kind of like how we closed out yesterday.
Yeah, we could do that.
We should do that.
Why don't you pull up one of your favorite ones and have it ready to go for the end of the show?
Favorite.
Bill
Like-
Hicks bits.
Oh,
Yeah.
audio?
Yeah, he's like,
Audio,
actually,
yeah,
I have
yeah,
it
we
right
can-
here.
I brought Bill Hicks in, actually.
Just call me. It's my ringtone.
Why don't you cue it up? We'll play it at the end, and then I'll start reading the sponsors while you do that. Let me take one more hit of this.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, we have a bunch of sponsors. Go ahead and light that bowl, buddy.
Hit it one
Conversations
more time.
are always much more fun when we're stoned.
All right,
Oh, it really is.
here we go. This episode is brought to you by DMCWatch.com. Yeah, keep doing that. DMC Watch, you guys. They made the DeLorean Motor Company. They made the DeLorean from Back to the Future, and now they're making watches, and you can own one yourself. I own one, so why wouldn't you? It's really cool. It's actually very, very unique. We're joking around, but like it actually is like a really awesome watch.
It is an awesome
Very
watch.
unique. It's not like a toy looking, like it fucking lights up or anything like that. It's a very classy looking watch. I get compliments on it. I would wear it like to a business meeting, or if you're having an interview or something like that. Like, it's a really classy watch. It looks like it's probably a few hundred or thousands of dollars, I would say, actually.
You're right, because when you say like a DeLorean watch, you think some goofy thing with some
Right.
flux capacitor. It's a nice looking watch,
Just
dude.
go check it out, you guys. I get compliments all the time because no one's ever seen anything like it, and they're like, "What kind of watch is that?" Because I think I'm gonna tell them like, "Oh man, this is like a Rolex or something." But no, it's really nice. So what I want you guys to do is just go check it out. There's so many different styles. I have like the leather band with like the silver face. I think it's a really classy look. But there's so many different styles, whatever you're into. Instead of just going to dmcwatch.com, I want you to click the link in the description of this podcast, because that's going to take you right to my landing page. And this way, I get credit for sending you over there. And if you like it, buy it. Okay. Also, this episode.
Wait, what kind of accent was that?
If you like it, you are buying.
what is that?
This episode is also brought to you by bullymake.com. You guys, bullymake.com, it's a delivery service. Think of the concept of like Blue Apron. Think of like what's that other one? Nature Box. Shit like that, where they send you stuff right to your door, but it's for your dog. So a box comes to your house once a month, unless you don't want it every month. It's got toys in there, and they're guaranteed that your dog can't rip them apart in like just the first few days, like all those other expensive toys that you're getting them. And also, there's treats in there. when I got my box this last time, it was like freaking 3 bags of treats in one of them, and you can actually go in there and set in preferences if your dog has allergies or if he has like a weak stomach or a sensitive coat, like he sheds a lot. You can all those things like that, and they'll send you treats that are sensitive to his needs. So bullymake.com, and you're going to use the promo code HOME, HOME, and that's going to give you $10 off your order. You can sign up for a year, 6 months, or just do 1 month if you just want to test it out. Either way, that promo code is going to work for you. $10 off. HOME, HOME. And last but not least, our new sponsor is FreshRoastedCoffee.com. You guys, same thing, same concept. They're going to deliver fresh, organic, roasted coffee right to your door. If you drink coffee as much as I do, you should really start to think about and know exactly what you're putting in your body when you're putting in that much of it. So, I mean, seriously, if you consume something as much as like coffee like I do, you really should know what it is that you're putting in your body. Drink organic coffee. If you taste organic coffee, you guys, you're going to notice the fucking difference right away. Like, you can literally taste that there's a difference in organic coffee. By the way, you guys are trying to be quiet and not distract me, and that's distracting me. Like, you're
Hey, man, you're just sitting there reading. I'm trying to give him some weed.
Fucking talking to each other, but not moving. Like, you're moving your lips and no words coming out. It's distracting me even more.
Close your eyes and do.
I was just getting into that organic coffee.
Yeah.
Bro,
Know what you're putting into your body, Augustino.
You
Not
absolutely
what
should.
happens in front of you.
Think about it. It's crazy if you like constantly consume something and you don't know what's in it. That's fucking like crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So FreshRoastedCoffee.com. Here, Kevin, you hit this next. I got to hit it in a second. FreshRoastedCoffee.com. You guys, they're going to deliver it right to your door. There's no minimum purchase necessary, and it's not expensive, guys. You can go get yourself an average size bag of coffee, like you would pick up at the supermarket, coffee grounds, and it's gonna be like, I mean, they're starting at like $8 a bag. They have organic coffee. There's green coffee. They have healthy tea. They even have gift baskets for like coffee mugs, things like that. This is the hardest thing I heard to do with you two being assholes trying to distract me while reading this. And also, by the way, I have no script here. This is all from fucking memory, and you assholes over there fucking
You're doing
dicking
great
around.
for memory.
FreshRoastedCoffee.com, you guys. You're going to use promo code SCHOOL, okay? Just the word SCHOOL, and that's going to get you 10% off your order no matter how much you order. There's no minimum purchase necessary. The word is SCHOOL. That'll get you 10% off. FreshRoastedCoffee.com. So, you guys, you're all... Thank you. That's not even your fucking... Bro, give me water from that fucking fridge. I'm about to cancel this whole fucking podcast right now. We've officially lost Fresh Roasted Coffee.
You
as
would
a
do
sponsor.
awful on live
fucking
television, by the way.
I wish commercials had that many interruptions.
I could picture you hosting SNL and you're doing your opening monologue and having to stop 15 times. You're like, can you have that guy stop moving? He's making weird faces. I can't do my opening
Dude,
monologue.
fuck that. You guys are fucking... Nobody, when you're doing a live performance, is fucking acting like a couple assholes like you two. Trying on purpose to distract you. And if they did, I'd go Christian Bale on their ass.
What are you doing? You and me are done professionally, man.
You're done professionally.
We're done professionally.
Anyway, guys, that's the sponsors. We officially hooked you up for Father's Day. You want to get your dad a watch, some fresh roasted coffee, or maybe he's got his little faggy dog. You can get him some treats and some toys. A subscription to bullymake.com.
You sounded like my grandfather for a second. He go,
Yo, his
I was at a restaurant with him and I ordered a Stella.
You can't let me start this podcast. You want to start a story?
And no, this is the end of the story. And
Sorry.
he just looks at me and goes, "What'd you get?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a Stella Artois." And he looks at me and goes, "That sounds like a faggy beer."
He was very right.
Yes.
I fucking hate Stella.
I thought you were gonna say you hate my grandfather.
No.
You're like, I fucking hate your grandpa, dude.
Dude, yeah, fucking Stellas and like light, I don't know, like those light color blonde beers and shit like that.
Dude,
No,
there's good
thank you.
pale
They're
ales,
brunette
man.
beers, by the
It's
way.
IPA or nothing.
That's a brunette beer.
In the words of Uncle Joey, it's IPA or fuck your mother.
I love IPA.
She says that about blue cheese.
I've heard him do bits about blue cheese.
There's like he has like someone made a T-shirt that says it's blue cheese or fuck your mother. Get that ranch out of my face. It's
Yeah,
fucking
he
hilarious.
hates ranch, dude.
Anyway, guys, this is the Homeschool Podcast. I'm here with my co-host Kevin Lyons.
What's up?
And our guest today is Theo Manhattan. And
It's
shit.
great to be here.
And
Welcome, Theo.
This is one of those episodes
Theo,
where I don't know if you guys know, but every now and then, every few episodes, I'll have someone on where we kind of do like a writing session, talk about anything from being creative on stage, literally taking a bit and like working on it right here on the podcast. So I hope you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy. And welcome to the Homeschool Podcast.
Who is this?
Walk the moon.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, why is the Temper Trap doing a theme song? I haven't heard a lot of their stuff.
Yeah, I know, me neither. Oh, I think I know the song now.
They're very arena rock. Oh, I have heard this song.
Yeah. Heart. Oh, you took it away just on the fun instrument. That was a fun
I
instrument.
feel like you two should start your own podcast. Right?
Call the
What if we do a
dickheads.
metacast
Called
where we
Let's
just
See How
interrupt
Much
your
We Can Annoy
commercials?
Augustino. That's the name of your
New
guys'
segment.
podcast.
That means we're off to a good start, buddy.
It is. Now let me.
It's
hit
good to
this.
have you on here, Theo.
We packed.
Yeah, I
two-
mean, would you rather have me interrupt or have me be sitting there and being boring? I mean, what
sitting
would you
there being
rather have?
boring always. While I.
In the words of Joey, it's either me interrupting or fuck your mother.
Let me fucking hit this bowl. We packed 2 bowls.
And we already
And we're
smoked
already,
them
like,
both
with-
while you were doing your
That was
advertisements.
just the intro.
It's
mean,
the
that's
Bud
just-
carousel.
That's just what happens when you have too many sponsors. There's a
You
lot
have
of
to
a lot of
smoke.
downtime. We have to smoke.
Listen, right now we got 3. When I get 4, I'll do 2 and 2 since I do 2 episodes a week. But right now we only got 3, so they're all going in one fucking episode.
Hell yeah.
You'll get enough sponsors one day where you'll just have a whole podcast episode just of sponsors.
Just the sponsors, yeah.
Just read it.
And then other people will have my episode on their episode as their sponsor. All right, let's get serious. This is a joke writing session. Let's fucking get down
Taking
to it.
comedy seriously.
Let's do it. Okay, so you brought a bit
Yes.
with you that you're working on right now
Yes.
that you want to work on.
It's one that kind of pisses a lot of parents off.
Those are the best ones.
They are.
Wait, how long have you been doing comedy?
As of April 30th, 2015, 3 years.
Okay, awesome, man.
Okay.
There you
April 30th. Okay.
Yeah. You always remember your first, right?
go. That's right.
February
I do.
4th.
February 4th, Kevin?
We actually talked about it on the last episode. I forget the exact date, but it was in 2007. It was a week after I graduated college because I gave myself a deadline.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Gotta give yourself
Right
a
in
deadline
Boston.
sometimes.
Right in Boston.
If you don't give yourself a deadline with things, sometimes you'll just fucking
Yeah.
keep putting it off, keep putting it off. You got to make a promise to yourself.
Because then, like, you'll never do it. You'll never do it.
That's
you
why I
keep on
ended up
pushing
doing.
off. You
That's
have to
why
give
I
yourself
remember
a
it was
deadline.
February 4th.
Yeah.
That also ended up being the day my dog died, like a few years later.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
man.
So I remembered it.
I think it was actually January.
Jeez.
It was January 2007. It was January.
Maybe around your birthday.
It was around my birthday. I think it was after my birthday. I'm not
Gotcha.
sure.
I mean, 11 years still. It's a
Yeah.
lot. That's all. February 4th, what? 2000.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
2009.
Okay,
So
so,
I will
you guys have been.
Officially be at 10 years this coming February.
You guys are like veterans compared to me.
Well, not really, because I'm off and on because I do filmmaking too.
Yeah.
I do a lot of filmmaking, and that's like the whole reason I came out here. And that's I was doing stand up just to get myself into it, meet people, and I just love just doing comedy. It was fun.
So this bit that you said parents frown upon it.
Yeah.
What do you want to work on? The fact that you want to punch it up and make it funny, or are you worried about offending people?
No, I'm not worried about offending people. I want to make it more layered. I just want to make it even more funny.
All right. So why don't you tell me the joke? How do you want to do it? You want to tell me the joke how you normally tell it, or just want to tell me the premise and then we'll build?
I can just, I won't perform it. I'll just tell you.
Sure. Okay. Whatever
Um,
you feel comfortable with.
so basically I say, it's like at the end of my relationship bit I have like my chunk, and then I say, like a lot of parents I don't really want kids myself, but a lot of parents will say like, no, you have to have a kid. Every child is a miracle. Like every child is a miracle, Theo. And I go, that's not really true, because you know what a miracle is? Something that should never happen.
Okay.
and then I talk about how there's like already like 11,000 people named John just in one city. Like you can't have that many people named John and expect them all to be miracles.
I like the premise of that a lot. Is that the whole bit?
I do some other stuff, but there's not. I don't have like a fully developed punchline. I've been searching for that punchline for ages.
Does it come from truth?
Yeah, I just don't really
People
want kids.
really want you to have kids, though?
Yeah,
people
like
tell
my
you all the time
sister-in-law
that-
always tells me how.
When are you going to have some kids?
Yeah.
You're not even married.
No. But she and I keep telling her I don't want kids, and she's like, "Yeah, you say that now, but just
Everyone
wait."
says that.
You see that you should incorporate that into it too.
Exactly.
Talking about like those things you say that now, but just wait. You know, I think it's like the miracle should be like, oh yeah, having kids it's the biggest miracle. And you're like, you know what's a big miracle? Not having kids. And then you list all the shit you get to do because you don't have kids.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's fun too.
People that have kids always say that you say that now, but you'll change your mind later. Like just because like you eventually got too lazy to get up and grab a condom.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But I don't know why they say that. What's funny is like I've actually been trying to come up with something was kind of similar, or at least on the premise, because I'm kind of tired of people telling me like when me and my wife gonna have kids.
It's annoying because
It's
it's
super
a
annoying.
lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
What I wanna
You're not
talk about
obligated to
is a
have a
lifestyle
kid.
choice. Yeah,
We just have the equipment, but we don't have to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been trying to come up with something with like why my dad is so persistent about it, and here's where I'm gonna go with mine. Okay, if I ever do, I may not even.
Yeah.
Do. Because when I tell my dad I don't want to have kids, and he's like, "You have to have kids," and I'm like, "Why?" I'm like, "I don't have to. Like, there's really no reason." I'm like, "If I don't want to, I don't want to."
It's like taxes.
And my dad says, "You have to," and I said, "Why?" And he says, "You got to keep the name going." That's the thing that bothers me the most. You got to keep the name
in
going.
your legacy.
I actually kind of like that. Is the only reason why I would want to have kids.
That's the only reason anybody
Yeah,
wants kids.
I mean,
because
like,
they're selfish.
It's
They
not.
want to
It's
keep their name going.
yeah. I mean, it's not like this thing that I feel like you have to do because I'm like, no. I'm like, you have kid. If you have kids, you have kids. If you don't have kids, whatever. But you know. But I like the bit so far. So what?
So
I like what you're saying. What you were talking about with the Everybody says, "Oh no, just wait. You think that now, but you'll want kids." Like,
yeah,
there's definitely a good part in that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so with my whole thing with like my dad saying we got to keep the name going, I want to do something about like I want to do something like what has anyone with our last name ever done that's so fucking great?
That everyone has to remember.
You know what I mean? Like, who are we that we gotta? There's got to be more of us.
You want
Like,
people
how-
to remember my name, Dad?
What have
Let's
we
have
done
a
that makes
national
us
holiday.
so fucking terrific that we can't stop us? You know what I mean? Like, if you know what would be a good idea? Like, what's a good like something on the market that like if they discontinued it, we'd all be upset. Like, what's a good product?
Kleenex?
Maybe
Toilet paper.
something, but those are things that we need. What is something that's
like a want.
awesome?
An iPhone, maybe, like Apple product.
Something like just, or maybe like a really great candy
Oh,
everyone fucking loves. You know,
like Red Vines or Twizzlers?
I don't know.
Skittles, M&Ms?
Maybe like M&Ms or Snickers or something like that. It's just
Or your
like,
favorite
Reese's
IPA?
peanut butter cups? Oh, yeah.
Your favorite IPA.
yeah, or something. But either way, but you get my point.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that like that's like saying like, you know, like oh no, you can't stop making Snickers because like we got to keep it going because
It's
people
like
love
when
it so
everybody
much.
got upset when Twinkies were
But
going
at
out.
least
Yeah.
yeah, but at least that makes sense because people really did love those things. But my dad's talking about is basically taking a bullshit product that no one really bought and saying, "Well, hey, they don't make that anymore."
It's like when Colgate tried to make lasagna. They had a Colgate lasagna.
No, they didn't.
They did.
Did they really?
They
That would be
did.
like the perfect thing to use for that bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Colgate lasagna.
Wait,
Yeah,
there was
Colgate
a
tried
there was
to
a,
do frozen lasagna.
oh really?
Yeah, dude.
I thought you meant they were making lasagna flavored toothpaste.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know which one sounds worse.
That I would use.
I don't know which one
That
sounds
sounds
worse.
good.
Lasagna flavored tooth. Yeah, they have like bacon flavored.
Did you eat
vodka,
garlic?
too.
No, I just brushed my teeth. But yeah, so for your thing, yeah, I would definitely have to. Here's the thing: I don't love the punchline. Miracles aren't supposed to happen. I don't know if I love
that's
that.
not the punchline. That's just
Okay,
a
does that
next
work
line
though
in
when
it.
you say that?
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, it does.
Because I don't know. I don't feel like if that's what a miracle is though. I feel like because the way that you set up, you just said here's how do you say it?
I'm like, because you know what a miracle is? Something that shouldn't
Right.
happen.
You say you know what a miracle is? I don't think that's how you would say it because that's saying like that's what a miracle is. But that's not what a miracle is.
Well, because when you're like, oh shit, it's a miracle, then you weren't expecting it at all to happen. It seemed impossible.
Right.
So for it to happen.
Maybe if you said like you know what a miracles are? Miracles are things that weren't supposed to happen.
Weren't supposed to happen. Like word it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you don't have a problem with that part of the joke, but I don't know. That part didn't.
For me, like I get it for that, but it also makes me think a little bit harder. But trying to think like what
It
do you
made
mean
me
by-
think
that,
hard.
That's the only thing. I get what it is and I like it.
Yeah.
But it's just it makes you think about it like instead of just laughing. Instantly.
When you first said it, it made me think like, wait, that's not what a miracle is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not what I want people to think.
Right. Well, you don't want people to stop and think because then they won't laugh.
Yeah, I mean, like what it is funny, but it's one of those funnies where you have to think about it, and then you realize what it means, and then it's funny, and you think it's really smart. But it's just like if you want the instant laugh.
Yeah, that's why it's not necessarily my punchline. It's just like a bridge to the rest of the bit.
Or what if you said, you know what the opposite of a miracle is? Like it happening all the time. That's literally the opposite of a miracle.
Yeah.
Like we need to stop having kids so that when someone has them, we can call it a miracle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great,
You
dude.
know what I'm
It's also because of the overpopulation. It's like, hey, listen, I'm trying to stop world starvation right here.
Yeah.
I'm plugging it up right here at my dick.
Yes. So those are some ways, and then you want to layer it up. I think you could layer it up. You're talking about like there's 11,000 people in one city named John. Like you know what I mean? That's too many. Instead of saying like there's too many people, like too many kids, just say like that's too many people. Like we don't need more people.
Well, then I expand on that bit. Like I take a bit of a segue in that bit about like 11,000 people named John. I'm like, by the way, we should treat people's names like we treat car license plates. If there's one guy named John, you have to be John 282.
Okay, I like that.
I kind of like that. That's funny.
And you're Black John. Because you know how they have those new black license plates?
Yeah, the black and yellow.
Your title of John has been revoked. You're just doing
Yeah.
too much sketchy shit. You are now an Ian.
You're John with a palm tree.
Yeah.
If you're doing like license plate references.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're gonna do that, you should also make a bit about making up new names that have never because there's just like eventually you're just gonna run out of fucking names, man.
So
Yeah,
this,
names are pretty
so the
uncreative
name
lately.
thing is going into a whole nother bit. So obviously you're gonna want to put that towards the end of the no kids bit.
Got
So
it.
that's gonna be the very last point you're gonna make about how you don't want to have kids. There's way too many people. How many people are named John? And then go into your name thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I might use Joey too, because Joey's my younger brother's name.
If you
so-
use Joe, you gotta up that from 11,000 in one city
like-
to like fucking 20,000.
yeah, like an absurd number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I'll use Joey instead.
My fucking back's killing me. Anyway.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's why I've been wanting to make this more layered, is so I can just like have a lot of ideas that are still concise, but that's
When I'm
why
having trouble with a bit, or at least when I want, if I want to expand on it or make it, or find like good setups for it, or make it into a longer bit, I ask myself like, what's the point I'm trying to make?
Yeah.
There's got to be a point behind it, and the point here is not necessarily just I don't want to have kids. The point here, it might be deeper than that. So now you got to ask yourself, why don't you want to have kids? And why are you telling this group of people that you don't?
That's true. I probably just because I'm more cut out to be an uncle than I am a dad.
Being an uncle's awesome.
Do you have a bit about that?
I've heard a lot of bits about it, so I've been scared to do because I just don't want it to be too derivative.
You've heard a lot of bits about I'm more cut out for an uncle.
Well, I've heard more bits about people liking being an uncle more because they can just play with them and then get rid of them.
Yeah, that's a common. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's more like just a true fact, but that's not funny.
Right.
There's an actual funny joke that you can make about like I'm more cut out for uncle. Sometimes not even that. You know what I mean? I don't know. You could actually think of examples of like your nieces and nephews and like how you like spending time with them, but then like you do something wrong rather than saying I get to leave. I don't have to stay a parent. Like rather than doing something obvious like that, like what's something that like you got in trouble for doing? Like your sister or whoever or your sister or your brother, whoever has kids, were like fucking.
Or I
like
when you said I'm not cut out for that. Which is why I moved to California, so I could be 3,000 miles away, have no commitment.
When I first found out I was gonna be an uncle, I thought it was like I wanted to write a baby book for uncles. You know how parents like when they're expecting kids, like they have to read the baby book.
yeah.
Really
I'm like, I
funny.
wanted to get one for an uncle called "Holy Shit, I'm Gonna Be an Uncle," and just a fun book about it.
You should make that book.
I will.
And you're doing what is it? Not special effects. What are you doing now? Where you're working on art, like
Oh yeah. I was doing because I'm starting to work on concept art for our movies.
you can
and
even
stuff.
make the cover for your book.
Yeah, holy
Dude,
shit!
you should
I'm gonna be
absolutely
an uncle.
make that book and just kind of make it like short. It wouldn't be that bad. It would just make it more like funny, and that would be
It would sell.
It would, of course, it would sell because everybody.
It would be a joke gift for people.
Everyone would listen. Everyone would give it to their like brother.
Yeah.
When they to let them know, hey, I'm having a baby. Like that'd be like, hey, guess what? And then you open the present. And
Yeah.
it's that holy
I'm
shit, I'm
gonna
be an
be an
uncle.
uncle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Holy
And do
shit!
that
I'm
book.
gonna be
I'm
an
gonna
uncle.
edit that part out of the podcast because you're gonna make millions.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I'm gonna use life stories from my uncle, who I thought was like he was like Indiana Jones. He was the fucking best. He was crazy.
One of the pages should just be like it looked like it was ripped out, and then it says like you guys don't want to know about that.
No, it was almost like a map.
Yeah, like a missing map or something.
That'd be funny. I'm definitely gonna do that. Holy shit! I'm gonna be an uncle.
There you go, bro. Everyone
Ideas are
and
crafted
then
in
do
here,
the
man.
ant version, and people are gonna start giving that as gifts to people when they
Mm-hmm.
have a kid. They're gonna give it to their uncle.
A grandpa version, grandma version.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, grandma and grandpa version would be. This is money. I'm seeing a series
Yep,
of books.
yeah.
But they don't even need it though because they've already been the parents. So it's just like they just get to sit back and watch you fuck up. Like-
That's why your book is funny, and
Yeah.
it's just more of a novelty item, you know.
People love those stocking
Oh, yeah.
stuffers.
Back to the matter at hand.
All right, back to the miracle.
So, forget about the bit. Tell me.
Oh,
tell
you know what would
me-
be a funny one? You know what a miracle is? If you just mind your own fucking business.
Hey, yeah, 'cause
that's
a lot
what
of
that's
there's
what
a
I
lot of
hate when
nosy
people get
people.
so nosy about that. Why aren't you having kids? None of your fucking business. You know, you don't know. Like what the I don't have to have kids. You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, they're great. I love kids. I love being an uncle.
It's so
and
stupid
I
when
don't
people say
mind
that.
if I have a kid. Like, here's the thing: if I end up meeting the woman of my dreams and we have kids, like that's cool. But I'm not. It's
If
not
you
like
wanted them at the
it's not like
time-
a plan because I don't want to be like auditioning people for a wife. I'm just like
Yeah.
if you meet the right person and then you have kids, yeah, I'm on board. But it's not like you have to have a child by 35. It's just like what the fuck
There's
are you
no
telling? You know what I
timeline.
mean?
Listen, everybody's priorities are different, and some people's goals are different. Some people like their goal, like that to achieve, would be to have a family. Like
Yeah.
that's some people's goal. But if it's not mine, that doesn't mean that I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It just
I'm
means
not
that that's
Amish.
not my
I don't
goal.
need barns built.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like that's the thing. I like kids. I like kids a lot.
They're great.
Yeah, they are. I have fun with them. I have fun with my nieces and nephews and stuff too, and they're fun. And it's not like I don't like kids. It's just simply that I don't want them. And then you hear parents crying all the time about fucking that we got to get a sitter. We couldn't go out. And then you fucking hear about people complaining about babies in the movie theaters, and then you fucking hear about how terrible public schools are and how horrible the world is, and the
one thing in common, kids.
Yeah, it's all fucking kids. I went and did we talked about it on the last podcast. I went and did the career day at the school. At the middle school, but I mean, I was homeschooled. I'd never been into a fucking middle school, public school. What a fucking steaming pile of shit! Don't they have anybody going in there fucking organization cleaning up? Jesus Christ! And that's a huge problem. Teachers don't make any fucking money.
No, they don't.
And you wanted to tell me to go have a kid? Fuck you!
Yeah,
Mind your fucking business. What am I gonna have? We're fucking crying about a president who tries to throw people out of this country, but then you want to keep having more fucking kids? It doesn't make any sense to me. Honestly, it's fucked up. If there is, let me rephrase this. Let me start off. Okay. There's as much people telling people that they should have kids and they're miracles, and you'll change your mind one day. There's as much as those people as there are Trump posts every fucking morning that I wake up and turn on any social media, and there's someone crying about Trump, and how awful he's made the United States. But you live here, and you, on a daily basis, tell people to have kids and what a miracle they are. Why the fuck would I bring a child into this world that you just cried about all fucking day how horrible it is?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. My decision on whether to have kids or not has nothing to do with who the fuck the president is.
No, it's not for me either.
That's not going to stop me from having
It's not for me either. I'm going to have them when I want to, number one, and when I'm financially stable.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That is my thing.
People have them when they can't even support.
I don't want to have a kid where it comes down to, I might have to quit comedy now.
Yeah, that's that would be awful.
If you have a kid at that point, then you weren't ready to have a kid. I'm going to have to give up on my dreams or at least go part-time on it while I get a fucking real full-time job and make more money. You don't have that choice. You know what I'm saying? When you have a kid. If I was really established in my career doing well and I wanted to actually have a kid, I would. I fucking would. It's not nothing to do with who the president is, but I'm saying stop going out there and telling people you should have a kid when you cry about how horrible the world is on a daily basis.
Right.
It's so funny with the way that the world is with starting a family. I don't even want the whole I just want to start at the divorce. And just start at the divorce. I'm living on my own. I pay the child support. The kid can come hang out on the weekend.
Yeah. You can't just say how bad the world is and say, you know what you should do? Add to that.
Yeah. Won't you want your offspring to experience what we're going through and worse?
You could also say, that these kids will have an answer for everything. That's the only thing is, hey, make them better.
They're gonna fix our world. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if we don't destroy it first.
Yeah, exactly.
But I get what you're saying.
Fucking daily basis. Oh, the global warming, and we have to stop. We have to clean our oceans, and we're not gonna last another 100 years. But let's keep fucking and having kids and let them deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If I wanted to, I fucking will. But don't push people. That's why my whole bit's going to be about, with my family. You got to keep the name going, my dad tells me. What the fuck for? What did we do that was so fucking great? What crisis did we solve? Even the name Bush has done more shit than my last name. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ. Anyway.
A lot of fodder, guys.
A lot.
What other aspects of that joke did you have? Did you have more things to it?
Sounds like he has more aspects than just the I don't want to have kids part, because there's the name thing.
Because I like it. It's a very good, it's relatable.
Some of this is too dark that we're ranting off on, but
Right.
but do you see how much there is about it?
Yeah, that's why I added I extracted the parts that are more in my lighter personality to use.
He's like, you guys. That's basically him saying, "You guys went to a dark place pretty fast, and I don't want to do any of
Well,
that."
That was just
I
my
wrote
own
it more
shit
in how
coming
I
out.
would say it.
Absolutely. Well, that's what you
course.
got to do, man.
I mean, because especially if I'm working more with the Disney Channel now, I can't rant about how much I hate kids and then say, "Hey, Disney, how about a bigger check, huh?"
Yeah, man. So are there any other aspects that you take that?
Yeah, don't pull a Roseanne.
Yeah, kids look like apes, dude.
Yeah. Kids look like apes.
That was. I had an aspect about birth control, like as far as the miracle part, like I guess the fact that that it's like 97%, like the fact that that kid is like 3% when it broke through. Like,
Yeah. How
that
about
kind of
this?
idea.
How about like with the whole like miracle thing where they say hey, it's a miracle and like how we talked about like you know what the opposite of a miracle
Yeah.
is? Like that's the opposite of a miracle because it's so easy to happen.
That's right.
It's so easy to get someone pregnant. It's the opposite of a
Yeah,
miracle.
yeah, see, that's funny.
And then you know what a miracle is? Plan B. That's a miracle. You know what a miracle is? Yeah,
Or the
actually,
or
Plan B. Not even condoms because
or
condoms the people don't like to wear 'em.
HPV, the natural sterilizer.
I would say like you know what a miracle is? Condoms, but that's not even a miracle because nobody wants to fuck with condoms.
That's right.
You know what a miracle is?
Plan B.
Pulling out in time.
Yeah.
That's
a good one, too.
I like that one.
You know what's a miracle? If I manage to pull out in time, that's the miracle.
You know what a miracle is? If I manage to get laid.
I have a girlfriend, and it's still a miracle. If I managed to get laid.
That's a good one.
We're finding it, bro. Kevin, where are we at? I just need to keep track.
We're
of time.
in your garage.
No, what time?
Oh. It's 36 minutes and 22 seconds.
Okay, good.
Left or
Yeah.
No, that's how long we've been recording.
already?
Yeah, bro. You got another bit that you want to work on? Or you want? Is there more that you want to tackle with that? It's all there. It's just probably, excuse me, the setup needs to be done right. You know, the timing. I obviously haven't heard you perform it.
Yeah.
But the setup needs to be done right. Timing. It needs to be executed well. And all
I
those,
can do all that at an open mic.
and all those different aspects need to be put in the right order. And yeah, you could do all that in open mic, but you're gonna figure out which work, and then you're gonna basically split those up into 3 different ones. So you got one of people want you to have kids, the miracle thing. The last one is the name thing, and then what's the middle one? Now you want to have a third part to go because you need 3 parts to make it a bit. So
Last one is name.
yeah.
2 is.
Well, we know 1 is the miracle thing.
Yeah, and the two is talking about like you can't cry about how bad the world is, and then also say.
But do you like that? That was me
I
just
do.
ranting.
I
okay.
think no, I definitely.
It's
do.
worth a try, I guess.
Because it also has a sensitive side to it where it's like, oh yeah, like we should make the world better then if
Yeah.
we're gonna add
That's
to
gonna be
it.
real Bill Hicksy.
Exactly.
It's a little dark. I don't know if you'll get a laugh on that part of it, but it's just a good point.
Well, that's why I have it more towards the end of my set.
Okay.
Cause I just like start really light and just get like really have to swim out there.
Okay. That's
So-
fine. Yeah, that's exactly what you do. But yeah, so that right there I would make into a bit, and in order to have a bit, you got to have basically 3 different points or jokes, points slash jokes about
Yeah.
that same topic, and then they're gonna have to be put in the right order to flow.
That's awesome.
So we definitely know the last thing is the name because that's going to go into the different thing you did about names with the license plates and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then we know obviously what the premise is, so you're gonna have to start there with the whole miracle thing.
Yeah, because I have like a quick one-liner about license plates after that I wrote today. I was like, I keep seeing these license plates, the vanity plates with like weird letters like XKXXXKX. And when I see something like that, like that's that unique, they're planning a lot of hit and runs.
I don't know if I love that one liner.
I mean,
You haven't even tested it out
right.
yet.
Yeah, I just wrote it today, so I don't have to. I mean, do we have time for one more bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have another one that I have in my set, and
Kevin, will you pack us one more bowl?
Sure.
it works fairly well, but I know like it could be way more polished. It's I start off
Why
like
don't you try your best to, as you
to
would
perform
perform
it.
it.
All right.
You don't have to perform it, but try your best to do it as in the same way that, or the same
cadence and
order
whatever. Yeah.
that you do the joke.
Like
Since it's already one that's already kind of polished.
okay. Yeah, so I basically the crowd will like be drinking at their tables and everything. I'll go.
You're painting the picture for
Yep.
me. How,
Tons of
how a
exposition.
stand-up show works.
Yeah, and there's
Why don't
there's
you
a-
grab one of those microphones right there and really pretend?
Yeah, so hey, is this thing on? You know. Yeah, so I see you guys are all drinking. Glad you guys are drinking, actually. Which
So this
is
your opener.
no, it's
Okay.
it's just how I start that joke. I go, really, that's the only time when you should ever congratulate a vice. Like you don't ever hear people say, like, I'm really glad you're doing heroin right now. and then I say, by the way, like one of the worst times to be drinking was during the Civil War, because they actually used alcohol as a surgical anesthesia. And like, I've been drunk before. Like they've been feeding you 7 shots. You bite the bullet, they saw off your arm. I've been drunk before, but I've never been so drunk where I can't feel a saw going through my arm.
That's funny. I
What
like
makes
that
you think that 7 shots of whiskey is gonna do the trick?
shit. Yeah.
Like I've never been drunk enough to the point where I'm like, I think I could handle a medieval level of torture.
Yeah. That's funny.
I like that part.
But I know there's more to add to that. My usual opener is, I talk about how I usually open with how I look like Kenny G, just a quick laugh,
Okay.
and then I say, my life has really changed since I joined MS-13, and then and then I go, yeah, the half marathon for multiple sclerosis. Just getting prepared to run, get those legs stretched out, and then I talk about how I hate like wine snobs, who do the thing where they're like, oh, is that like a hint of oak? Is that like mahogany? I'm like, how do you know what wood tastes like?
Yeah. That's really funny. I like that. That's a really good bit. I like that one. That's a good joke.
And that's when I connected with the Civil War bit. And then I have
You should throw. You should throw. Do you guys go to barn tastings? Like,
yeah, I have
So wait a minute. You connect that to the Civil War bit?
yeah.
How? Doesn't the Civil War bit come after the drinking?
that'd be funny
Like you
if
guys
in the
are
Civil
drinking?
War bit,
I
while
could.
while he's getting his arm cut off, he's like, it's gotta taste the mahogany in this whiskey.
I have him. I have him taste it like while he's getting
Yeah.
surgery.
So
I could switch those up. Yeah.
That's
Well-
funny.
The order.
it's got to make sense though. So that goes into the Civil War bit, or the Civil War bit goes into that.
I guess I start with the Civil War bit and then I do the wine tasting one.
Okay. It would make sense to me.
Start with Civil War.
I seem like it seems to me like you feel uncomfortable going into a bit without a segue.
Look, because I do MS-13 and then I just then I don't really have much of a segue because I'll look at the crowd and then I'll
Right.
do I'm glad you guys are drinking.
I mean, you want to put those bits in the order so that they'll make sense. But the only one that really kind of has like a really forced segue is the one where you say like, "Looks like you guys are drinking. I'm glad you guys are drinking tonight." Right?
That
Is
seems
you say to the
forced.
crowd. Well, I mean, it is forced. It's not a segue. It wasn't a natural segue.
I guess I don't know how to segue it really.
Well, I mean, the
Now you do.
I'm gonna
Here's a bowl. Here's a
I'm gonna
bowl.
try to tell you.
Medicine.
I'm gonna try and tell you a little bit.
All right.
And you're doing it already. You already do know how to natural segue. But I don't think that you know that you're doing it and that the other one is forced. So, for example, what I would do is I would have do the drinking bit. That goes into the wine tasting one about the wood. Then goes into the Civil War.
Okay.
So that's gonna like.
So wine tasting, then drinking, then Civil War.
No. I'm sorry, not the Civil War. What's the bit that goes into the Civil War that you said?
Well, that's the one where it has like no segue.
What is it?
That's why.
The MS-13 joke.
Right.
Sometimes I'll add after MS-13. I'll go. Weakness of mine. It's again like another jump, like no segue.
So hold on.
I think the drinking should come before the Civil War, because then you can have another tag in the Civil War thing.
Cool.
That's what I think.
Well, the drinking is the Civil War.
Yeah, no, I know the Civil War. I mean, like the wine tasting, going into the Civil War. That's what I meant. Wine tasting first, because then you can have that joke in the Civil War. Like,
but what other joke does he have about drinking that's not Civil War, and the wine tasting?
Well,
how are you starting that bit?
I don't really have the best start. I will sometimes, like if we're in a bar, I go like there's anybody who goes into a bar and just orders coffee are some of the worst bar patrons ever.
Okay.
Like, and those are the people that are like, yes, excuse me and my wife are here to discuss philosophy and just have a good time. Can we have a cup of coffee?
Okay, that stays with the drinking stuff,
Yeah.
but it's not.
I just don't have a good start.
It's not going to be up front.
Yeah.
So, but here's what I mean by a forced segue. The other ones that you're doing, if you put them in the right order, you don't even hear the segue. But this one is a forced segue because you're going to the crowd and you're saying, "Looks like you guys are drinking," and then you do your bit.
Yeah.
You cannot do that bit without doing the crowd.
Yeah.
Correct? That's what I mean. That it's forced.
Because I always, and that's fine. I
mean, it's fine. Leave it forced, but you know what happens when you have something that.
No,
like
I
that?
was saying that I was saying that's fine if it's wrong to do that because
It's not wrong.
oh,
If
okay.
it works, it works. But you got to put it in the right place.
Yeah. So how should I put it?
If you
then?
have anything about the way you look, like the Kenny G thing, you could say that out the gate. If you have anything about your name, things like that are all up front of your set.
That's what I do usually.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you have this thing where you go to the crowd for something like, looks like you guys are all drinking. Like if you had a joke about couples or relationships, you would go out there and be like, there's some couples in here. That's a forced segue so that you can get into this next joke. So then I would tell you, open with that joke. Go out there and just say like, hey, everybody, like, I'm glad you guys are drinking. That should be the first bit that you do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So now it doesn't sound forced anymore. Now it sounds like an excuse to talk to them when you come onto the stage. So I would go out there and you could do the Kenny G thing because it sounds like it's super fast.
Yeah, it is. It's very fast.
Yeah.
I always
it sounds
just
like a
start
quick
off,
reference.
I always just start off grabbing the mic. Yeah, let's see what Kenny G has to say, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's been getting really big laughs.
It's getting a laugh in the first 15 seconds that you're on stage. Do that still. Then go right to the crowd and say, I'm glad you guys are drinking, and then say that's the only time you can compliment someone on. How do you say
on
it?
A vice?
On a vice. You know what I mean? Find out if there's another word besides a vice because that's throwing people off. That's confusing people.
Okay.
Like, I'm glad you guys are drinking. You're like, that's the only time you can compliment someone for like doing a drug or doing something addictive. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Consuming a substance.
Yeah. That's the only time you can compliment someone on consuming like a substance. Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Because the I know what you mean by vice, but it's throwing you off. It's throwing people off. At first, I thought you said advice.
Oh,
that's the only time you can get advice. I thought you said.
Yeah, because I guess sometimes any comic mumbles sometimes. So
I can't remember the last time I heard someone refer to like a drug as vice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't remember the last time I heard that. I would say, just say like, I'm glad you guys are drinking. Like that's weird, right?
You call it a mind-altering substance.
Whatever you can do to get out the point.
Hey,
Frank,
I'm so glad you're on heroin. Look at you.
Right. So, but
funny.
I like the fact that you're thinking one word though, because you said vice, but I don't think that that's the word that everyone's gonna get. But you should be thinking one word because you want to get to your point.
It's really one of the
quick.
only times you should be complimenting substance use, you know?
Yeah, something like really easy. Exactly. So I'm thanks for coming to the show. Whatever. Like I was, you guys are drinking tonight.
A substance, like using a substance.
It's so funny too with like
no substance use.
When clubs make you do a 2-drink minimum. Like, you have to drink alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, you have no choice. You are forced to drink alcohol. So all these shows are basically like date raping everybody.
Yeah, forced to drink alcohol. Well, there goes my chip, honey.
Yeah.
But yeah, go out there, do the Kenny G thing. Go to the crowd, say like, "I'm glad you guys are drinking." You're like, that's the only time it's okay to compliment substance abuse.
Abuse is better than use, I think.
Yeah, substance abuse.
Abuse is a funnier
because
word.
you can substance use a fucking protein shake.
But substance abuse,
Substance
that's much
abuse.
better.
That's the only time it's okay to compliment substance abuse. You never hear anybody go like, "Hey, like I'm glad you're doing heroin.
Yeah.
It's gonna make me seem a whole lot better."
Keep digging that hole, buddy.
And then, so what normally goes right there?
After the substance use, then it's the either the wine tasting or the Civil War. Which there's a kind of a consensus that wine tasting goes first and then Civil War.
I would say that because you can use part of the wine tasting bit in the Civil War too, with like, you know how they taste the stuff.
It's kind of a callback.
Yeah, like a callback. So like when you're getting your leg cut off, and
So you're saying wine tasting and then Civil War?
Yeah.
Because
that's what I'm thinking.
then your Civil War bit goes into the other thing, which is the what is it? The M.
Yeah, I guess I could do
what is
MS-13 after
MS-13 after that.
See,
if you did Civil War in the middle, you wouldn't be able to do MS. You wouldn't have that natural flow to go into the MS-13 after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna do the the heroin thing. You're gonna do the wine tasting, and then you're gonna do the Civil War. And the wine tasting is gonna flow right after you did the whole heroin thing. It's gonna go like I like drinking, but you ever have like people that are like wine tasting, they go like the oaky, the same thing, you know what I'm saying? And then even from there, you can make fun of who the worst bar patrons are, do the coffee thing.
All right.
Then the Civil War. Now you got yourself a fucking bit, bro.
Damn. Bit, bro.
Sometimes you fucking had it the whole time, and you just need to put it in the right order.
Right.
Should I show
the way I end the wine?
Can I have that bowl?
The way I end the wine tasting is I first off I say yeah, my favorite food's sushi. My favorite food is Ticonderoga #2. I wonder if people just go, I'm gonna go to a bookshelf tasting later.
Yeah.
The last time I did that, the bookshelf tasted like Chardonnay.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny too.
And then so after that, then I do Civil War. Is there anything to add to the Civil War one? Because I've never been drunk enough to say I could go for a medieval level of torture. Should I leave it at that, or is there more to it?
I mean, you could always just explore.
It's a little
more.
top heavy. The Civil War part, get to the point a lot quicker. I feel like I don't remember everything you said, but I remember that it was a little top heavy before you got into the. I never saw through my leg or whatever and didn't feel anything. You know what I mean? So go right to the explanation. Like people say this, but I never this. You know what I mean? Well, because say that part again.
Well, I guess the premise.
Do the Civil War like you normally would do it.
Okay, so really after the complimenting the substance abuse, and the worst, probably one of the worst times to ever drink is during the Civil War. They actually used alcohol as a surgical anesthesia. Just have 7 shots of cold cock and we're gonna saw off your arm.
Probably that part of it should start right at the worst time to do alcohol was during the Civil War. That's where it should start.
Okay.
All that other stuff before it, I literally you don't need all that.
How about just the worst time period to get drunk is the Civil War? Because chances are you're about to, because they use it as an anesthesia to get to that part.
I like that whole joke.
Yeah.
I like exactly the way that you do it. I just don't love how long the setup is.
I have an issue, and it's probably being early in the game too. But I have an issue telegraphing jokes too, sometimes over-explaining before I get to it, and that does damage because people have short attention spans.
And again, that's
So-
why you got to ask yourself, what's the point of what I'm saying? And that's going to help you find your setup. So what the point that you're saying is that's the worst time to do it because of this. And that's the joke. So you're literally going to start the joke at the worst time to, how do you say it?
The worst time to drink is during the Civil War.
Why?
Because they used alcohol as a surgical anesthesia. Or maybe I could just say as an anesthetic.
The way you do it is fine. Surgical anesthesia. Or whatever you want. As an anesthetic too works fine. And then
I came up with a possible idea, like maybe just as an absurdity. Like I wonder if people who drank were always looking over their shoulders to see if a guy with a saw was looming nearby.
So what is tell me the punchline again. So the first part is
Yeah,
the worst time to be drunk, right?
The worst time to be drunk is during the Civil War because
And
they
then give
used
you
it as a surgical anesthesia.
That's the why. What's the punchline?
I mean, I've never been drunk enough to I've never been drunk enough to the point where I could feel some stuff, but if I'm high.
Me
Oh.
too. I get what you're saying. I really like it.
I
That's
really like the joke,
Thanks,
but that's
man.
all it should be. It's those
but
three
getting to
parts.
the explanation of cutting, being drunk enough to withstand getting your arm chopped off or something like that, that needs to be said
Maybe
quicker.
I could say like, did that really work for people? Like I'm sure it was nice to be drunk, but was it really worth it?
Because you got you could also say like, as I got really drunk once, stubbed my toe and I cried for an hour.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like some adding some type of thing like that.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, that's a good tag too.
But not like stub your toe, just something, whatever you want.
And
So a whole leg getting cut off. I
Yeah.
mean, that's gonna cause a problem.
Yeah.
And don't worry about cutting that joke shorter because now you actually have so much other stuff before it. You got the fucking substance abuse heroin part. You got the wine tasting part. You got the fucking like worst bar patrons that order coffee, and then that.
Yeah.
So don't worry about like cutting that short. That is literally worst time to drink. That's the reason. The why is is your why, and then your punchline.
Yeah.
What
If
did
you
they
forget
get?
all these notes, you can always go back and listen to my podcast.
That
Yeah, there you go.
and I have
It's
them all
basically
written down
you're good. There
too.
you go.
I'm just
Nice,
like,
man.
oh, he said a gem.
What
Before I forget.
was it helpful?
Very, dude.
Oh, nice, man.
I've been trying to I've been doing these jokes at shows so many times, and every time I do it, even though I enjoy it, I'm like, there's something missing. I just can't figure it out.
Well, it's fun.
Sometimes,
It's fun
bro, I
getting together.
I can help people, and if they listen, you'll fucking see a huge difference on stage. A huge difference on stage. But it's really up to you how you're gonna execute it, your timing, how often you're gonna practice it, and if you're gonna listen to the order. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm just gonna say screw doing brand new stuff. I'm just gonna work on these 3 or 4 at open mics until I get it down.
just in case, I've done this before. I think with other guests when we did the writing session, I show people my method to try to keep things organized, keep jokes organized, especially new ones, and put them in the right order. I haven't showed him, and maybe there's some new listeners to the podcast that didn't hear it yet. I think that's the one that we did with what's her name, Monica.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when we had her on the writing session one. So something that I do is just a little technique that I came up with is I take a piece of paper, like this,
Yep.
and it's a blank piece of paper, and you just on your notebook, and you just draw like a big like cross in the middle of it.
4 squares.
So making 4 squares. So draw a cross in the middle of your
Reminds
paper.
me of elementary school.
And I'm dyslexic, so like this helps me with organization because the worst is like when you got all these bits floating around in your head and they seem so out of order, and you're like, how do I fix my set? What the hell's going on? Sometimes it just takes like writing them down and put them in the right order.
Yeah.
So this top left corner of the top left square, you title it whatever you want. I call it home, but what that means is that's your set list.
Okay.
Okay? Like that's the jokes you feel comfortable with that work, and that's like your go-to set.
Okay.
All right, when you're doing real shows, okay? This bottom right one, the bottom right square, those are new jokes.
Okay.
Premises, not even new jokes.
Just premises. All right.
So those are the ones that you thought of a joke, and you want to try it, or maybe it's one that you never really could quite work out, and you're bringing it back to fix it.
Yeah.
That goes down there too.
All right.
Okay. And I just write them out word by word because I like title my jokes like chapters, like anchors, rather than writing them all out.
Yeah, dude, that's
Because then you could just fit them all in this little box, right?
I actually have an entire sheet of all
Of your set list, right?
Yeah, just all the jokes that I have.
There you
that
go.
are-
But see, your set list, that's your set list. Your set list should be in order.
That's
Nice.
for that's for
Your
you
set
to
list
see.
should be in order as if you're working on your fucking hour special.
Okay.
Okay? So that's the bottom right one. It's premises and jokes that are not done yet. You're working on them, okay? This top square, the top right one, that one is new jokes.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to tell you the difference between new jokes and the premise square. The new jokes, they're finished. They're not in the trial bottom square anymore. They're done.
Okay.
And the reason that you didn't put them in home, your
Yeah.
set list,
Because they're not fully polished.
because they're
and
not in
complete.
order. It's not in order. So I'm not going to take a new joke from here because it finally works and it's done and put it right in my home one, the left column, set list.
You would move it up.
Because, well, not even. Like, where move it up from where? Like, put it where? On the bottom? It's not going to go. You want your home, your set list to always be the order that your bit should go in.
Got it.
Okay? So what's going to happen is you're working on a new joke right here, bottom right square. Once it's done and you're like, that joke works, I want to graduate it to my set. You're going to move that to this square.
Yeah, all right.
And you get them all organized. Then you're going to take... Now you got all these here, right? You got all these new jokes that kind of work.
Yep.
Right? You want to graduate them to your set. So what you're going to do is, and this is, let's say these are already in the top left. Those are jokes that you already do in your set, right?
Yep.
So these new ones to the right column, top right, you're going to move them over to the top left, but you're going to put them exactly where they should go, where they'll fucking flow.
We'll have that flow.
I'm just watching you do that, and it looks like when you're watching like a football game, and the commentators like put it on pause. This guy ran over here, and then you
Basically
see
what
them
it is,
drawing
man.
on
Like,
it.
you gotta fucking do it, bro. So let's say over here in what I call home, or what you'll have is it's your set list, right? You're gonna have those are already in the order they should be in. You should put those in the order they should be in. Like we just talked about how you're gonna do the drinking thing. You know what I mean? And then the next one and the next one in that order. We just talked about that order, right? In that last bit.
Quick Kenny, then right into the wine.
Yeah, so you have your order. So right now you're gonna write is like Kenny, fucking you guys are drinking, which is the substance abuse part.
Yep.
Then you're gonna go to the what's the next one? Fucking wine tasting.
Wine
boom, boom,
tasting.
boom. So I'm just giving you an example, okay? So
Well,
those
I think it is perfect for opening.
so that's your set list right there, right?
Yeah.
And then the Civil War one, right? You follow me? Here,
Yeah.
check this out. Here, look up. So
Fucking look at me! Look
No,
at me
look.
right now!
so you got your fucking top left box, right?
Yep.
This is so this is the new joke. Let's say the new joke was the one about they come into the bar and order coffee.
Yep.
Let's say that one's there. So that's the new joke. You're ready to put it in your fucking set. You're not going to just throw it anywhere. You're going to fucking take it and you're going to go, that's going to go right with this other drinking stuff right about there. So no one hears the transition.
Because you
It
want it
just
to sound
fucking
like
flowed.
a conversation
Just
instead
exactly.
of a bunch of jokes.
And you know why this bottom column is here? That
That's what I
empty
was
one, the
wondering,
bottom
yeah.
left, that's going to get filled up with your fucking set list. So this is going to be your half hour. That's going to be your second half hour. You're going to eventually build towards an hour.
Nice.
And you know what you're going to do, bro? Once you have this all written out and it's your set list, the home side, the left side, that's growing. Once you have that written out with all the bits and it keeps growing, I take a picture of it. I put it in my phone. Maybe you carry it with you in your pocket on a piece of paper. When someone tells you, bro, you're going up and you're going to do 5 minutes, I'll take this and I'll go, which one's 5 minutes? Like, I'll go like, okay, so these two, that's 5. I'm going to do that 5 today.
Got it.
Then the next let's say you're doing them on open mics. The next open mic you do, they only give you 5 minutes, right? So I'm going to do that 5 at this one. I'm going to do that 5 at that one. I'm going to do that 5 at that one. So if you did 3 open mics in one night, you literally did 15-minute set.
You know what I've been doing? That makes a lot more sense. What I've been doing is I've been just accordioning out my set. Like, I know I have roughly like 20 minutes or so. So they're like, all right, this open mic's 5. I'll just, instead of like a bit that's 5, I just do like, all right, I'm gonna do couple from my opening part, couple from a middle, couple from the end.
That's what you gotta do when they don't
So
give
I
you
like-
so much time. You know, some places don't give you so much time for you to actually. How are you supposed to build a longer set if they don't give you that long? So that's how
Right.
you gotta do it. Is just break it apart bit by bit because you know you're gonna do another bit tomorrow. So do the whole bit in the order it's supposed to be in. Keep organized, and then tomorrow go to another open mic, do the next one. Then fucking you're hanging out at the Laugh Factory, and then all of a sudden fucking somebody comes up to you and they go like, "Hey, bro, I need you to do 7."
And I just choose the 7.
Can you go up there? You pull out your fucking home list. You know that those 2 right there are 5, and then you try to think what's another 2-minute one. You look through real quick and see what's a 2-minute one.
All
And then
right.
eventually, bro, you're building to a fucking hour, and then you can literally work on an hour special in open mics, 5 minutes at a fucking time.
Jesus.
That's how it goes.
That's
how you fucking do
that's
it.
a great system, dude.
It's it can be if it's done right. Anyway, I should probably take a picture of that for the podcast listeners. I'll probably take a picture
As
of
you're
that.
crossing shit out.
Well, that's from that's yesterday's notes.
Okay. They don't want to see yesterday's notes?
No, we were talking about Roseanne and shit. That crazy bitch. First, if anyone fucked Tom Arnold, you can't take them seriously. Can we just say that?
You said it.
Okay, we got to get out of here pretty quick. Let me do the shout outs, and I think you were asking me about like finding who you are on stage or your
Yeah.
voice or something like that. We'll get into that, and then we'll fucking get the hell out of here. Let me just do the shout outs really quick. These are, I think there's a Twitter shout outs. I want to give a shout out to ScallyCat37. Drop them Nikes, or in other words, it's Maximus P. Stevens.
Thanks, Maximus.
That's my dude, Maximus.
What a name.
Carl Hungus28.
Thanks, Carl.
Chris Sipos.
Thanks, Chris.
Dustin Zawacki.
What's up, Dustin?
That's my dude. Ash Miharg.
It sounds like people are just pranking you.
I really wish
Making
that
up
they
names.
would. I really wish that they would. Andy Sandlin, Real Raw Dog, or in other words, it's Alexander Gonzalez.
Alex.
The One by One podcast.
One by one.
Shout out to you, badass motherfuckers. And also, I want to give a shout out to my dude, Water Boxer.
What's
Always
up, Water
supportive.
Boxer?
Haven't given you a shout out in a long time. Just want to let you know. Haven't forgot about you. You're awesome. Also, you know what I thought of today, Kev?
What's that?
You know how in the beginning and at the end of every episode, I play a song,
Yeah.
a different song?
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, if anybody out there has a band and you guys do covers, and it has to be, I like covers because I play a song because I know it and it's kind of the vibe I want the audience to be in, or it's the mood I'm in when I play it. So that's why I do covers. So if you guys do like a cover, fucking send it in to me, and we'll fucking use it as the open and the intro and the outros on the podcast. You know, if I
Yeah.
feel,
What an opportunity.
you know, whatever.
That'd be great.
I mean, just for fun. If you want your fucking content out there. I mean, and that's the other thing. I'm not taking your content of a song that you wrote. If you do a cover, just fucking send it in, right? Why don't you send it to my email? It's augustino@laughcommander.com. So, Augustino, you know how to spell my
Commander
name.
with a K.
You got you got my name right there on your screen of this podcast. So Augustino@laughcommander, commanders with a K.com. If you play a cover song, if you have a band, you play guitar, you sing, whatever the fuck, just fucking play it in. I think that would be great. I really would like to do that.
And once
that'd
you
be
guys
cool.
do another live event, you could have them play the theme live.
Oh shit, you bad motherfuckers!
Damn. On their dime. We're not going to fly anybody
Right.
out here.
We're gonna fly in fucking Grandpa Nicotine.
Yeah.
Or
Start playing the
water
spoons
boxer.
on his knees.
Or flying in water
we're gonna fly
boxer.
in Mark from the UK.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, are we ending it right now? We're gonna play that Bill Hicks bit, right?
We will, but I'm not ending it right this second.
Oh, okay.
So you asked me a question about finding your voice on stage, or how did you word it?
I think. Oh man, come on, YouTube. I basically just. I think it was more of an expression than a question, but I just said like how long it takes people, not for everybody, but to find what your voice is on stage.
How long does it take you?
Or just it does take a while, it seems. For
Yeah.
people think it's easy to do stand up, but then once you get up there, it's way more than just saying random jokes. Like you have to have a perspective.
I think it's just like your experience. Like the more you do it, you're gonna find it.
That's
you know?
true too.
That's like you're gonna. It's especially if you keep at it, you're gonna find your voice.
It absolutely is different for everybody. Plus, if you keep at it, you're gonna get to it quicker, just like anything else.
Yeah.
Like
Like a question I get from people, especially like older, because I talk to a lot of like older comics, like 60s, the guys that were doing it when the store was first around, those guys, and they're like, Theo, what is like, how do you describe your comedy? And like, I feel like once you can define that, then the way you write jokes really forms around that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, some find it quicker than others. Sometimes it takes someone literally telling you this, which, like, I don't know if I ever would have really labeled what I am until someone actually told me this, and I'm going to tell you. Okay? It really only comes down to two different types of comedy. Okay? You're either a comic or you're a comedian. And I don't know if you know this, but there's a difference.
Yeah, isn't it one like says things funny?
One says things funny and one says funny things. I believe it is. But I'll tell you what the real difference is. This is how you can tell.
All right.
Bill Hicks, comedian.
Because
Okay.
he says things funny.
Jerry Seinfeld, comic. You know Adam Hunter?
Yeah.
Comic.
Yeah, Adam's amazing.
You know Jim Gaffigan?
Yeah.
Comic. Mitch Hedberg, comic. It's a formula. Those are joke tellers. So you have like a very simple setup punch formula. And if you're the kind that goes out there and you say like like just a quick
You ever cut yourself shaving?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Fraser Smith is a great example too of a comic. It's just it's a setup punch formula, and the ultimate, and this goes with like bits and storytelling and longer bits too. The ultimate like goal is to have fucking one setup line, one punch. That's the ultimate goal.
Cut the fat.
Not fucking 2, 3 setup lines, one punch, two punch. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate goal is one, and then one line, and then punch, punch, punch. If you can use simply one line for your setup, and everything else is punchlines. No other setups. I mean, it's very fucking hard to do. No bit is that perfect, but like I've seen them out there, dude. I've seen guys that go like, dude, that shit was nothing but punchline after that first fucking thing that you said.
Mm-hmm.
Which Adam Hunter is a good example.
Adam Hunter is a great example because he is a one-liner, is what they call him. So you'll go like one of my favorite things that he says. He was like, he goes, I went down on my girl while she had a yeast infection. That's your setup. And he goes, I was so pissed because I was trying to cut carbs. There's your fucking punchline.
Yep.
Great fucking bit. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? 2 parts. That's it. A comedian is someone who talks about the human condition, someone who tells you has longer bits. They more like do like a conversation.
Yeah, like Carlin or Hicks.
Bill Burr
Yeah, he's a good example.
is a comedian. Louis C.K.
Would you say Joey is?
Joey Diaz falls in a different category. He's either comedian, he's right between comedian, and then there's this third factor, which they kind of fall under comedian too, which is storyteller.
Ah,
Okay? So, I mean, Bill Cosby, you'd call him a storyteller.
Ron White too.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so they fall in that category. And as much as I think that storytelling is a part of comedian, it's a part of the conversational thing. It's become so like popular and like the thing to do now.
Right.
Not that I'm saying people that do it are so trendy. No, they're keeping true to who they are, but it seems like that's what people are into now, rather than the 90s when it was Seinfeld.
It seems more of a cop-out like excuse than like being a comic. Like
Eventually, bro, all comics become storytellers.
right.
All fucking even Jim Gaffigan's last special, he was like telling some story about his kid. I'm like, bro, fucking get to the fucking quick jokes with you eating food.
Let's hear something funny, dude. Hot Pocket. Remember that?
Yeah.
You know, But yeah, so then you got storytelling, and then if it seems like you're down the road of comedian. It seems to me. It's for you to decide. I fucking love the one-liner comics. I love
great.
listening to them. Makes me laugh so fucking hard, especially when they're brilliant.
Because it's so quick.
What's the other one? Stephen Wright.
Yeah, Wright, Hedberg, Henny, Youngman.
Those guys, when you listen to those, it's so fucking fun to listen to. I could never be one of those comics. It's just not my style.
Right.
But I love listening to it. It sounds like you're more like you want to do longer bits. You want to do like smarter writing. You want to take bits and make them layered and really dissect them and get deep into a topic.
Yeah.
So it sounds.
Sometimes I joke on stage that my jokes, like me as a person, I'm like an iced caramel latte macchiato from Starbucks because I'm so layered.
Okay, I like that analogy. but yeah, man, me personally, from knowing your act and knowing what the stuff that we just talked about today, that's where it is, man. There's no arguing it. That's your fucking voice.
Sweet.
Now, finding a voice in the beginning, you're gonna go through copying people on the way to finding your voice. There was a while there, whoever you hang out constantly or whatever comic you listen to constantly, you'll eventually start to have their tonality and your very different bit, but you're doing them.
Yeah,
you're doing your bit as them.
It's like when you live in a different state for a while and you pick up their accent.
Because you're still trying to find your voice. When I started, man, I started working at the High. I was always constantly watching Adam Hunter do sets, and like I'm not even a fucking one-liner comic, but like after I would do like a punchline, I'd go like, and fucking like raise that arm up and down, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
it's like he's spanking a booty every time he.
You start to take people's like people that you like, that you look up to. Sometimes they can affect
their mannerisms.
While you're finding your own voice, and they always kind of like stay with you, even though you developed your own voice later on.
Yeah.
What you did was you almost kind of took like bits and pieces of everybody that you really look up to, and that all kind of stayed with you, and then you added your own to it, and that's like basically what your own voice is.
So really, all of our styles are just the sum of everyone else's styles.
I mean, and theirs is a sum of everyone else's. And it's like a fucking father and mother. You're like, I look like this because my mom and my dad fucking made a fucking baby.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, and they look like that because very two different people, they made a baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what fucking you're finding your voices, bro. You're gonna go through that, and be like, bro, you're doing fucking Hicks. Like, bro, I got tell people to shove it up their ass. You got to go through that to find your voice.
It's true.
Anyway, that's all I got to say, you guys.
That was.
That's all I gotta say about
Is the Bill Hicks bit quick?
Well, because the internet.
You ain't got no internet.
Shitty on, but I wanted to play the Bill Hicks JFK assassination.
How long is it?
Let me see if I can find it.
Like 6 minutes.
Hold on. Let me see.
I don't know how much time there is though.
Bill Hicks.
I don't want to play a 6-minute bit.
JFK.
That's too long. I wanted something quicker. I might do it on the next one.
Yeah.
We gotta get.
Well, we can just play it out. Don't worry.
I don't want to play it. I want to use the music.
Too late.
Well, then we're gonna play the whole fucking thing.
Hold on.
It's either all or nothing.
Exactly.
It's either
you
all
don't even
of it
have
or
it,
fuck
bro.
your mother.
Let's find it on YouTube.
Is it playing?
Kennedy. I love talking about the Kennedy assassination because to me it's a great example of a totalitarian government's ability to, manage information and thus keep us in the dark any way they do. Oh, sorry, wrong meeting. Shit. That's the meeting we're having tomorrow at the docks. I love talking about Kennedy. I was just down in Dallas, Texas. You can go down there and to Dealey Plaza where Kennedy was assassinated. And you can actually go to the 6th floor of the School Book Depository. It's a museum called the Assassination Museum. I think named that after the assassination. I can't be too sure of the chronology here, but anyway, they have the window set up to look exactly like it did on that day, and it's really accurate, because Oswald's not in it. So, painstaking accuracy, It's true. It's called a sniper's nest. It's glassed in. It's got the boxes
hit one more
sitting
punch
there.
line,
You
we'll
can't
cut it off.
actually get to the window itself. And the reason they did that, of course, they didn't want thousands of American tourists getting there each year going, No fucking way! I can't even see the road! Shit, they're lying to us! Fuck! Where are they? There's no fucking way! Not unless Oswald was hanging by his toes. Upside down from the
Dude,
ledge.
see, he's like a fucking that's a comedian right there, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I say he's an acquired taste. Like you'll see, like some of it, like it's some time before he gets like those huge laughs. It's some time. Some
it's a lot of
people
build to the
fucking
punch,
love it.
but then you also realize that you're like learning things too.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like very smart.
It's almost like he's doing spoken comedy, which is spoken. Like it's, you know what I mean? Anyway, you guys.
He was very Kinnison-esque too with some of his act outs and delivery.
Yeah.
Like explosions of just.
Yeah, like
Don't forget, you guys, to go to bullymake.com and use the promo code HOME for your pet box. Don't forget to go to freshroastedcoffee.com. You're going to use the promo code SCHOOL to get 20% off your order. And then also don't forget to click the link in the description to go to DMC Watch. And I fucking hate you guys. So go to dmcwatch.com and check out those watches on there. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast, supporting everyone I gave shout outs to, and everyone else that I didn't. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Kevin, as always, for co-hosting. Thank you, Theo.
Oh, it was eye-opening.
For coming into
Kevin Augustino's pleasure.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for coming into the podcast. Any Twitter or Instagram handles?
Instagram, my handle is the most relatable man.
The most relatable man.
Yeah, and I don't really use Twitter.
Okay, on Instagram at the most
relatable
relatable man. Kevin is at the real Kev Lyons on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Augustino Zoida. Fucking kick you guys' ass. That's pretty much it, you guys. That's it. That's the game. That's the fucking game.
That's the game.
Bakersfield, California, June 29th. I'm coming out there. I'm headlining. I'm bringing fucking Lee Sayat with me.
Good dude.
To open, and we'll see if maybe Kevin go with me and fucking do
I'll
do
5
minutes.
I'll do 5 minutes.
We'll see how often you're gonna get on stage until then. Fucking bro. All right, you guys.